is a very special day. Okay, today's a very special day because
where can I redeem my 9-month brain rot?
Joseph Robinette Biden is going to speak on the January 6th attacks. Okay, which we're going to talk about as well. And when it goes live, we'll talk about it. We'll watch it live because Merrick Garland and President Biden are going to fucking talk about it and shit. They're going to speak on it. But more importantly than that, I thought the homie Trump was going to speak on it. I thought Donald Trump was going to come out and actually fucking speak on the January 6th attacks on the anniversary. He said he was going to do it. He teased it, okay? Son of a bitch teased it super hard and then turned around and decided not to do it. It's such cowardly nonsense. Come on, dude. You can't be denying us that fucking juicy bussy, that girthy content. Like, you came out and you fucking said you were going to do it. And then he's like, I'm just going to cancel it. And it's really fucked up. There's suspicion that DeSantis has COVID. Since that's popping off right now. DeSantis looking and sounding sick today. Maybe he's just sad because his wife has cancer. Have you ever thought about that? No, you liberals don't think about anything. Anyway, so January 6th Eve, we're going to get to that in a second. But yeah, Biden is going to come out and blame Trump for the chaos and carnage on January 6th attack live. Biden is literally a fucking mobile viewer, I guess, because no shit that he is responsible. Are you fucking kidding me? But it's not just Trump that's responsible. It's the entirety of the Republican Party that's responsible. Okay, so I don't really understand why, this is supposed to be super significant. What is super significant for me, however, is, like I said, Donald Trump is no longer going to be appearing and doing like a COVID bonanza, January 6th to Electric Boogaloo. Like, let's do a rally. Let's commemorate the moment. Let's honor it. I thought we were going to get some juicy, good-ass content out of that, but, he cucked us a little bit. He's still going to come out and say some shit at his rally in Arizona, apparently, but he's not doing, like, a special press conference for January 6th. So, anyway, we'll get to the Biden stuff when it gets there, but let's take a look at Ron DeSantis, because that's important. Florida is very important to COVID. Why is it very important? Because it's a hub of COVID. It's like, COVID alongside AOC thrives in Florida, okay? That's why AOC went there, to figure out this COVID shit,
My
okay?
came today. Big hype.
Let's see what Ron DeSantis is saying now.
Brad Ferguson, Senior VP and General Manager, Skywater, Florida, and Dale Miller, Site Director, Skywater, Florida, as well as Representative Fred Hawkins.
Bro, I can't tell if he looks sick or sounds sick because this is 1P. Like, you guys shot this with a fucking toaster. God, liberals are so annoying. At least get better fucking footage, dude. I'm trying to, if I'm gonna analyze this in the most parasocial way possible and figure out whether Ron DeSantis actually has his own COVID strain or not, I need to know. I can't tell from this.
Manufacturing.
Also, for those of you who think he's gonna die of COVID, you're fucking wrong, dog. Okay, 1, shitty people never die. They are invincible. They will live forever. 2, that man is boosted up the wazoo, okay? If you think Ron DeSantis is not like double jabbed, boosted, probably taking like extra precautions on top of that, you are fucking delusional. This man wants to run for president, okay? He's like Greg Abbott. You think Greg Abbott is not boosted? Greg Abbott got the booster before that shit came out, homie. Okay? And we know that on the record. Like, I suspect Ron DeSantis is also boosted, but that's not exactly on the record. We know that he was vaccinated, though. You're crazy if you think he's not boosted. These guys absolutely know what the fuck is good. Okay? Ron DeSantis is a classic case of knowing better and still being a piece of shit. He's not like those dumbass hog AM radio broadcasters that fucking end up getting COVID and dying. He's not going to let that happen. Merrick Garland is going to start speaking. Let's see.
Is something that we need to do better job of. And we've worked really hard in Florida to have more opportunities with vocational education.
Hassel.
We have expanded our manufacturing footprint in the state of Florida, and we want to continue to be able to do that as we go forward.
You can get COVID with the booster, unfortunately. Bro, I don't know why people think this is new information. Of course you can still get COVID. It's just that you're not going to fucking die if you get COVID. If you're on the booster, the likelihood that you'll die of COVID is tremendously low, okay? Especially with the Omicron variant being like less aggro than the prior variants. It's just not happening. So, just letting y'all know, not going to happen,
Hey, Jeff.
okay? Why does he sound like he's fucking crying?
Semiconductors are a huge issue. If you look at how the supply chain works, we are overly dependent on foreign nations, including Taiwan, which is a good ally of ours, but which...
Why is he
So
crying?
I finally have time off work to catch the stream.
I don't
Love you,
understand.
Hasan, stay safe and
Also,
healthy, fellow
someone send me a
Bailey
link of the
Chatters.
fucking Merrick Garland thing that's not directly from the government website.
is one that... Excuse me. Which is one that is
What is happening, bro? What the fuck?
dependent
Pog.
on foreign nations, including Taiwan, which is a good ally of ours.
My man's about to cry thinking about how Taiwan needs to take over mainland China. Like, what is going on right now? He's like, the semiconductors coming out of Taiwan. Why is he crying? What's happening?
But which is one that... Excuse me. Which is one that... Excuse me. Which is one that is under really serious pressure from the Communist Party of China. And so we have an
almost 2
opportunity to
years.
do more here
Putin walk,
in the
Putin
United
walk,
States.
Putin walk,
And I
Putin.
think the more we can do manufacturing of semiconductors here, the better off we'll be. So today, I'm proud to be awarding $6 million to build infrastructure that will connect southern Osceola County to the emerging Neo City Technology District. This district is already home to 6 companies, including Skywater Technology, a U.S.-owned and operated semiconductor foundry. While this award will support nearly 5,400 jobs, Osceola County officials estimate...
All right, so he's just fucking crying. Dude, Merrick Garland, I can't be out here watching Merrick Garland talk about January 6th, dude. This is so sleeper. Like, I don't think this is going to be fun.
Evacuated. As a consequence, proceedings in both chambers were disrupted for hours, interfering with a fundamental element of
34.
American democracy, the peaceful transfer of power from...
Bro, they're like, here, I'll give you the fucking long and sweet, or not the long and sweet, short and sweet of it, okay? Merrick Garland's going to say, Republicans are responsible for the violence. This was an attack
Same
on
here.
democracy.
Never got COVID.
This is the worst
Now
thing
my
that's
mom
happened in
got
American
linked with
history
me.
since the Civil War.
Got a PCR
And that,
test,
like,
waiting for the
you know,
results.
all of our poor cops, our brave men and women in the fucking blue, they were devastated, okay? Their feelings were super hurt. Some of them, you know, a couple of them actually ended up committing suicide or something, I think, or whatever. And all this other, like, there's some sussy ass shit that happened on January 6th or post January 6th that even I am like, what the fuck happened? Like, what happened there? There was like 5 cops that they killed themselves afterwards.
I am currently at home with Omicron.
But like, I don't even know if they did it because they were there or what the fuck that was. And like, we totally just like avoided talking about that part. They're gonna say 80 plus police officers fucking quit the job on the Capitol Police Force. Yada yada yada. I don't know why the fuck. I don't know what is happening there. I don't know what happened at all. But you know, they're just gonna fucking say this. That's January 6th is like human toll. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was just give us the content. You know what I mean? I would rather.
Seems good.
At this point, I've just been hit in the fucking face with so much. I've just been fucking, you know, brute forced so much garbage into my fucking brain about both January 6th and like shit that's happening in America that I can't get myself to fucking care about this.
Socialism for 18 months.
Okay, I can't. It's just like, yeah, it was bad. Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, it's directly a consequence of Republicans fucking agitating and basically giving brain cancer to like a significant portion of this
7
a
months,
significant
boys.
portion of the
When does the
country,
brain rot start
2/3 of the
setting in?
country, 2/3 of the Republicans, rather, not 2/3 of the country, but 2/3 of the Republicans literally fucking think that, the election was stolen. That's bananas, okay? There's also a gigantic chunk of the country that think COVID is fucking fake, or maybe it's not fake, but it's still, or maybe it's still like not that big of a deal, or even if it is a big deal, it's like, you don't need to take the vaccines, and the government is using this to control us. How are they controlling us? I don't know, by making you wear a fucking cloth mask for 30 seconds before you
Hassle.
get into a restaurant and sit down and immediately take it off, and only in blue states and definitely not in red states. That's how they're controlling us. Meanwhile, the government is controlling us, okay? They're controlling everything. The media fucking totally brainwashes us, except, not in ways that you recognize it, because you're too fucking stupid. You're so stupid that you literally
chat.
think the vaccine is killing you, okay? So, I can't get myself to fucking, I can't get myself to care about the January 6th shit, or like cop feelings about Capitol, the Capitol Police Department. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. I've seen those motherfuckers beat the shit out of like kids with Down syndrome, okay? When they were protesting. I've seen them fucking rip people out of their goddamn chairs for the crime of protesting outside of Nancy Pelosi's office. I don't give a fuck if they feel bad that like their own brand of hogs decided to fucking brutalize them and like brute force their way into the fucking Capitol on the day where they opened the goddamn doors so they could walk right in and take selfies with them and shit. Okay? I don't care. So I can't get myself to care about like the human toll of January 6th, no matter how much like liberals try to make like a larger deal out of it. Okay? For far too fucking long, I've seen the Capitol Hill Police Department straight up brutalize, like literally fucking handicapped, wheelchair bound protesters advocating for Medicare for all, that I like in a way that is incomprehensible, like just so much. No, you haven't. Yes, I have. Yes, I fucking have, and you have too. They literally beat the shit out of disability activists. They jail everyone for protesting inside of the fucking Capitol building. But when it comes to the same hogs who were literally welcomed in, okay, now they're like, oh man, I feel so bad, my fifis. Yeah, your fifis weren't fucking hurt. Nah, you tweaking? Yeah, dude, if there were like images of police brutalizing disability activists, dude. I mean, if only there were like high profile images, dude, in the Capitol. Like that would be that's crazy, man. That's fucking, if only there were like literally just fucking Capitol Police are not handcuffing protesters, including this guy was physically dragged out of the room by officers. Another protester in a wheelchair has been handcuffed. And this is like this is just the first thing that came up, okay? Are you fucking stupid? You think these guys don't beat the shit out of protesters regularly?
Hi, Hasan.
Dumbasses. Bro, they've like literally ripped people off wheelchairs and shit. You're so dumb. Here, there you go. Here, you want to see how they operate? Oh man, poor Capitol Police. Guess what, motherfucker? When the hogs came in, that is not the treatment that they got. I'm not supporting the fucking Capitol rioters, dude. What are you, fucking stupid? My point is, they're trying to make a bigger deal out of January 6th, even though it's already like an understandable conclusion that, of course, Republicans were going to reach because of the misinformation that's been going on and the lies that people
14
have been
months.
fucking telling
You don't care.
for
I
years and
don't
years
care.
and years, and no
Everything sucks.
solutions that
The
were
party's
offered to
about the
anyone
negativity.
or
I'm on a diet and really
for
hungry.
any from
Journey to
any
the
party
fitness, brother.
involved.
Much
Okay,
love.
here's what my worldview is. Okay, for those of you who are new here, maybe you don't understand it. Obviously, those fucking
Kazakhstan
hogs
just
are
pulled off a
pieces of
successful
shit.
January
Okay,
6th.
and if there was an instance where the cops should have been brutal, it was literally January 6th. Not to the degree where they shot and killed one of those fucking QAnon people, but definitely, like, you know, if there was ever an instance where you're supposed to use like fucking anti-riot measures, it was outside, and they didn't do that because they're piglets that saw their own kind outside on the other side of those fucking barriers, so they opened the doors. Okay? But having said that, okay, having said all of that, here's what my approach is to January 6th. And just in general, like this attitude that we have. If one side is routinely fucking lying to their followers regularly, creating culture war issues that otherwise most Americans don't give a shit about
Only
because
1
they need
month
to
and 9
activate some of the
months
most
playing rock,
violent,
British Hasan.
vitriolic, psychopathic voting blocks that they desperately need in order to at least like get an allegiance of voters like the Republicans do. Okay? And then the other side is straight up just relying on Republicans being vulturous psychopaths in order to get reelected after Republicans do 4 years of fucking damage. Then obviously, at least one side is like taking the anger that people feel, the resentment that fucking people feel, and then redirecting it towards something. It's not right. It's completely wrong. It's completely psychotic. But the way to treat that isn't by constantly talking about, oh man, these cops, their feelings were hurt. These cops, they're so sad. Look at these boys in the blue. We need to give more money to the cops in the Capitol Hill so we can beef up security, rather than, you know, I don't know, solve some of the underlying material problems that a lot of people fucking experience, even if they're like goddamn HVAC specialists, okay? Or HVAC business owners in Alabama that fucking flew out to the Capitol to do a little riot, okay? Do a little fun riot. These lumpen proles, side by side with the petite bourgeois dickheads, these small business tyrants got together and fucking mobilized at the behest of a party and an idea that at least suggests that there is some way to change the anger and the resentment that they feel. Or there's a reason for why they fucking feel this kind of resentment and anger. The real reason why they feel resentment and anger is because we live in a fucking racist-ass country, a white supremacist-ass country, and it's very easy to goad people into going back to that old meme. It's actually fucking the ethnic makeup of this country changing that is the problem. That's why shit's actually fucked up. It's actually the liberals that are, running around and promoting homosexuality, and that's why shit's fucked up. But at least they're pointing to something. Meanwhile, the Democrats are like, Republicans bad, please vote for us. We will change everything. And then they end up changing nothing. So in a system like that, of course these people are going to be fucking psychotic, not the disability activists here. But like, forgive me if you think I'm going to think that, if you think I'm going to care even for a brief moment about the feelings, okay? The feelings, the fifis of the fucking Capitol Hill Police Department, when all they do otherwise is straight up destroy protesters on any given other day that is not the January 6th insurrection. Hey, homies, like, what are you doing, bro? What the fuck are you doing? Guess what he's doing, bro? You know what he was doing on January 6th? Probably at the fucking riot, okay? Probably at the insurrection. That's why he wasn't, doing his job. Anyway, so you see images like this enough times, you're not going to give a shit, okay? And I don't care about the fucking feelings of the Capitol Hill Police Department.
Hi.
Anyway. So If the vaccine really works, then how come so many NBA players who are fully vaccinated are out of play? And how come even if you're vaccinated, you're still susceptible to the top of the hour ad break?
Bro.
Which you can
I
only
hate
be
everything.
avoided by subbing with $5 a month or for free with a Twitch Prime or other ways you aren't allowed to mention anymore. Bro, you can't do that. You can't send me a fucking long ass paragraph with like a fat bait in the beginning side of it, in the beginning part of it, and then bait me into fucking reading the top of the hour ad break debate. You can't do that. That's unacceptable. That should be illegal if we're being honest. Yeah, it's fucked up. Okay. This is fucked up. But it's true. At the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break. We're doing the first one of the day. I'm gonna run it right now. You can, you know, there's many ways of avoiding it. I already mentioned it. You can also get gifted a sub, but if you're not lucky, make your own luck. You know what I'm saying? Here's the 1 minute ad break now. All right, let's talk about Tim Poole having a Joker moment, and not like the cool Joker, like Indian Joker, but like the weird, gas station Joker. Okay, he's losing
James
his shit.
O'Keefe, an anti-establishment individual, and I mean that with respect, but he is outright just a journalist, is facing.
James O'Keefe is not a fucking journalist. Okay, he's not. His entire purpose on this planet is to fucking deceptively edit shit, try to fucking go and get people to say stuff so that he can like secretly film it and then deceptively edit it and make it seem like they're saying something else. The only reason why James O'Keefe is still in operation and not actually fucking in jail or whatever, maybe not in jail, but the only reason why James O'Keefe is not, what is this, you versus Tim Poole when? Is because he is backed entirely by the Republican Party, but he is like a total fucking scumbag, a total liar. He has tried to debate, for example, the Washington Post and got fucking owned. And he gets owned regularly. He gets called out regularly for fucking lying, but it doesn't matter because the Republicans don't care as long as it's on their side. They literally do not care that James O'Keefe is lying all the fucking time.
Facing the boot of the authoritarian fascist government. And it will get worse, and it will happen to you because you keep complying. And you keep saying, but my kids need food! And now inflation is here, and there's food shortages, and your kids aren't eating. And the
What is that? Who's he talking to? Like, who does Tim Poole know, like, that is experiencing like a drastic food shortage where their children cannot eat food? Like, what?
Balls.
And also, I mean, there are food deserts in this country. There are millions of families that have regularly been having a hard time feeding their kids, right? That's like millions of families are food insecure. That's why school lunch programs are really important. But I've never heard him talk about school lunch programs or even like a fundamental part of Build Back Better, which would have actually offered child tax credits to millions of families and take them out of the depths of like child poverty and food insecurity. I've never seen him advocate for shit like that. And lastly, why the fuck would anybody care about James O'Keefe if their child is starving? I mean, that's the perfect example of Republican commentary, which is like, inflation is here, there's food insecurity, you can't feed your child, and that's all because you didn't care about James O'Keefe. What are you, fucking stupid? I feel like the more important issue there is to like address the food insecurity, I think. Who gives a fuck about some like charlatan clown ass who regularly lies and gets owned all the fucking time and is only alive as a consequence of like the Republican Party advocating for him all the time.
The schools are indoctrinating your kids. And
yeah, one of these things is not like the others, bro. Schools are indoctrinating your kids. Schools are indoctrinating your kids. That's what you care about more. Then your child's not starving. Okay.
James, because you keep complying and you keep saying, but my kids need food. And now
you have to admit you're taking this clip out of context. Tim Poole is equally as cringe within the context this clip was taken from.
Now inflation is here and there's food shortages and your kids aren't eating and the schools are indoctrinating.
How can you report on food insecurity if journalism blocks it? That's the funniest part, is that like James O'Keefe that he's talking about is like most famous for taking down Acorn, right? Like, so this idea that fucking James O'Keefe cares about like the poor, the plight of the poor, is also a ridiculous one. So there is that too. So he literally in 2009 made those undercover videos about associations of community organizations for Reform Now, which was a NGO that was created in 1970. And it was an international collection of autonomous community-based organizations that advocate for low and moderate income families by working. And he literally took them down. James O'Keefe's like prominent achievement, like the thing that put him on the map, was those undercover videos that he shot.
Going down in Kazakhstan right now since they lifted price limits on liquefied petroleum gas. Basically full-on revolution. Will probably impact global oil
and
prices.
Of course, none of that is the reason why he got clapped. He probably got clapped because he's an anti-vaxxer. I mean, of course he's an anti-vaxxer. He's right. The schools are indoctrinating your kids. What is this? Statement. Scientists claim that dinosaurs lived over 200 million years ago. Response. Everything you read isn't true. The Bible is the only book that is completely true. If you read the Bible and study its history, you will see that the world can't be that old. The Bible tells us God created the world about 6,000 years ago, not millions of years ago. Statement. Scientists believe animals evolved and have adaptations from dinosaurs. Response. Many people do not want to believe that God created everything. They want to believe that everything happened by chance. Statement. Scientists are smart. They study things like this all the time. Response. Scientists don't know everything, especially things that happened before they were born. This is not real. This is fake. There's no shot this is real, okay? I will never believe this because no fucking dumbass hog would be stupid enough to have this in writing and openly get clapped up like this. This is a classic case of like Redditors who are anti-religion wanting to believe that this is real. I don't believe this is real. OP is doing it for the karma or just printing this shit up himself. OP seems to keep claiming that it's better than the public school system, but as someone who spent all their K through 12 years in public schools and have been to church, wait, no shot. I mean, they believe this and they say it. I'm just surprised if they actually had it in a fucking... And many people think this, for the record. Feels like the 13-year-old chapter r/atheist put their collective heads together for this page. No, chat. I'm not saying Christians don't believe this. Of course they do, bro. Come on. Bro, 42% of this country believes that Jesus Christ is going to come back before... what is it, before 2050, okay, and that the rapture is gonna happen. The fuck do you mean? What is it, like 50 to 60% of the country believes in angels and shit? Like, of course, people believe in nonsense all the time, okay, and they definitely believe that like dinosaurs and Jesus Christ were side by side, okay, and that the world is only like 6,000 years old. Like, there's creationists, we know this. I just don't think that they would like put it in writing in this in this idiotic. It's too convenient, okay? There's something a little sussy about this.
Damn happy 1 year of subbing at Hasan.
Yeah, 41% of Americans believe ghosts are real, and 1 in 5 say they've seen one. Yes. Now, part of the reason why they can do this or get away with like things that are similar to this, if not exactly this, is because private schools. Part of the reason why Republicans want to have private schooling is so that they can adequately indoctrinate people without the communist common core, okay? Without the indoctrination, the anti-religious homosexual communist indoctrination of the public education system. Okay. Anyway, but it's on Reddit, so I usually don't believe. I feel like a lot of that stuff is for karma farming. Anyway, let's get to Fox News and let's get to the Florida Surgeon General, Dr. Joseph Ladapo, who, remember, famously said, as we saw yesterday, fuck COVID, just vibes. Remember, this is the Surgeon General, okay? He's like the top doctor in Florida, appointed as the main doctor in Florida. So him coming out and saying, like, fuck this, like, testing stuff, you know? If you don't test, you don't see it. Fuck the testing, just vibes, baby. You know, that was impactful. It was also normal for Florida. Let's see what he had to say now. And I got to pee real quick. I'll be back.
The big lie. The big lie was that if you got everything, and I got the vaccine, I did everything that they told me to do. Got it, and I still got it, and there's a lot of other people that got it. So there's a lot of people, and I've even seen people on TV today saying that they did everything that people told them to do, and they still got the virus. So that was the big lie all along, telling people that if they did everything that they said, that they wouldn't get the virus. But the truth is that it would mitigate it, that it wouldn't be as dangerous, but they never told the American public that, Kaylee.
Whips misclick.
I think we're having some problems with Kaylee's audio. Doctor, I'll let you pick up on that.
Oh, no. I mean, you're absolutely correct. And, you know, I'm happy to hear you say it, Lawrence, and I hope more Americans realize it. You know, the vaccine passports, you know, this requirement to get tested to go to school or to get on a plane. I mean, it's just ridiculous. This idea that, you know, that you could stop this with vaccines was unrealistic, but the policies are based on the idea that you can stop this with with vaccines and mass testing and things like that. So there's a mismatch between the policies and reality, and you know, more people need to wake up to that, I think, and stop participating in this really dystopian view of public health.
Yeah,
it's totally unhealthy.
It's unhealthy.
I mean, it's unhealthy, it's divisive, it's political, it's unpleasant. I understand why people are coming to Florida.
Yeah. And that's why you're doing a good job leading. Kaylee.
Bro, I mean, like, I know people fucking rip on Don't Look Up, but this is literally like, this is Don't Look Up. Like, he just straight up is saying, like, no, don't worry about fucking COVID, dude. Come on. Just, like, don't worry about it. Just don't fucking worry about it, dude. Anyway, now I didn't know this either, but apparently, hey, you guys remember Dr. Stella Emanuel, the Holy Ghost send the power? Doctor, who immediately was fucking owned by everyone on the internet who has at least a somewhat decent understanding of how to do a fucking Google search, that found out that this lady believed in like demon semen and a bunch of other like insane shit. Well, turns out, you know, he was one of those doctors who are a borderline on, you know, being pro-COVID, okay? So that was, remember this group of doctors from the Trump administration? Well, one of them became the straight-up fucking attorney or Surgeon General for the state of Florida.
I'm Dr. Joe Ladapo. I'm a physician at UCLA, and I'm a clinical researcher also. And I'm speaking for myself and not on behalf of UCLA. So I want to say that, so I'm thinking of the people who are behind the screens that are watching what you guys are broadcasting. And I want to share with you, because there's so much controversy and the atmosphere is so full of conflict right now, that what this group of doctors is trying to do fundamentally is really to bring more light to this conversation about how we manage COVID-19 and the huge challenge.
That's bullshit, by the way. He's just like straight up talking about like hydroxychloroquine. This was done specifically so that they could push for hydroxychloroquine as a cure. Remember that? Remember that shit, dude? at this stage, it's like, even if you have a doctorate, okay, even if you went to UCLA Medical, even if you're like a physician at UCLA Medical, which is like a really good fucking hospital system too. Ronald Reagan is an incredibly important hospital. Like we're talking motherfuckers that went through school, got their education, got their fucking MD, and are just shilling. Okay, straight up. And guess why? Guess what? Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he fucking do that? Why wouldn't he shill like this when, because he did this, he's no longer even, oh, by the way, he lied about Joseph Ladapo saying he treated UCLA patients, by the way. UCLA came out and said that he had actually never treated COVID-19 patients at UCLA. But why shouldn't he lie if, when he lied like this and he joined that like America's Frontline Doctors group, he got fucking promoted. He got promoted. If you're positively incentivizing people to fucking lie on behalf of your political goals, even if that ends up killing people or misinforming people, then yeah, of course you're gonna fucking lie, dude. Florida Senator Tina Polsky repeatedly asked DeSantis' Surgeon General Joseph Ladapo to put a mask on in her office, explaining to him she was recently diagnosed with breast cancer. When she asked him why he wouldn't, he just smiles and he doesn't answer. He's very smug. Now, obviously, fucking doctors aren't all like lying scumbags or anything like that. I'm not saying that, like, you know, they're doing this, but some are, okay?
Pee-pee poo-poo.
None of our institutions are infallible, is my point. I know that it like hurts everyone's feelings to think like that, because when you see that, doctor gear, you think to yourself, when you see that white coat, that's supposed to instill a feeling of protection and you know, confidence. Like, you should confidently be able to feel that this person that you're talking to knows what the fuck they're talking about. Okay? And the overwhelming majority of doctors are not like that. It's like 99%. Okay? You can trust 99% of doctors, but then there are also grifter ass doctors that, you know, for example, do this shit and then get promoted or become television doctors like Dr. Oz. And then after they become television doctors like Dr. Oz, say shit like this.
12
That's right. That's a fucking segue. Dr. Oz struggles to answer an abortion question on Fox News. Let's take a look at what Dr. Oz had to say about abortion. This is an older video, but it's still a golden video. I covered this earlier on the broadcast as well. I just want to show you, like, you know, an example of what it looks like when someone is a fucking grifter doctor. So, this is Dr. Oz upholding, according to Jack Posobiec. Okay, actually, I don't even want to fucking... Here's Dr. Oz talking about abortion, Roe v. Wade standards on abortion, okay? And then on the Breakfast Club.
In Philadelphia. And I saw women who'd had coat hanger events. I mean, they're really traumatic events that happened when they were younger, before Roe versus Wade. And many of them were harmed for life, emotionally discarding anyway. Right. And listen, I'm at a personal level, I wouldn't want anyone in my family to have an abortion. I told my kids this. I mean, I love the lives that they're creating so much that I personally wouldn't want it. But I don't want to interfere with everyone else's stuff, because it's hard enough to get into life as it is. What I do know as a physician is, if you're going to make it if the litmus test is the heart's beating, then really make it the heart beating. Mm-hmm. Don't make some surrogate version of it when, you know, cells are have an electrical path. That's not what the average person thinks. Right. The average person is envisaging a little acorn heart beating in there. That's not what's going on. What it is. That's 6 weeks. And I think the rule that most Americans seem.
So he right here is speaking his truth. Okay, he is not spreading medical misinformation. He's right. He's saying that, like, it's not real. It's not a fucking real. It's not like a real child in the way that people try to fucking make it seem like it is. Okay, hold on. hold on.
Support is if the child was viable outside the womb, then you don't want to kill that child. If the child was not going to be able to survive.
So a couple days after, Fox News has him on to ask him questions about abortion. They go, hey, what do you think about abortion, Dr. Oz?
That directly. And one more. On the issue of abortion, you were on the Breakfast Club in New York, and you talked about some of these laws in Alabama, perhaps like the ones that are being adjudicated in Mississippi or in Texas. And I'd be curious, as a senator, how would you vote? What do you think the laws should be on abortion?
I'm pro-life. I do believe in 3 exceptions, the health of the mother being the primary one, but rape and incest as well. And I would vote to ensure that if the judiciary is reviewing an abortion law, that they follow the Constitution. It's quite clear. That Alabama case is in point, did not include.
But Dr. Oz, that's currently being debated at the Supreme Court. So setting aside the exceptions, which I appreciate, what is your position as both a doctor and a senatorial candidate on when life begins? When should we draw the line when abortion is legal?
Like, he's trying to be like, listen, I'm Roe v. Wade. I'm pro Roe v. Wade. I'm a fucking doctor, okay? And he was a fucking legit, like, he's not like a fake doctor. He was a legit doctor before he became a television doctor. So it's like hard for him to be like, the anti-science bullshit that requires, that forces you to believe, like, that you are required to believe if you're like fucking, pro-forcing women to carry pregnancies is the fucking term, right? So he's just having a hard time, matching up those two individual realities, because inside of him are two wolves, okay? One wolf that has all of the information as a fucking MD about like how life works, okay, how the human physiology works, and also the other wolf that is like trying to become a senator in Pennsylvania as a Republican. Okay? Obviously, both of the Brunos are still racist and they still say the N-word. But, right now he's at a situation. He's at an internal contradiction that he is trying to solve here.
As a doctor, I appreciate the sanctity of life. And for that reason, I'm strongly pro-life. With the 3 exceptions I've mentioned, that's how I would vote.
And when does that life begin?
Again, if I'm pro-life, then it's a decision that comes back to the sanctity of when you think life does begin. And I believe it begins when you're in the mother's womb.
When you're in the mother's womb? But that carries you all the way up to 9 months of pregnancy.
No, of course not. Life's already started when you're in your mother's womb. But it's a rat hole to get trapped in the different ways of talking about it. We need, as a nation, to make sure the Constitution is appropriately followed, and people like me, and you may be in the same camp, who are pro-life, have our feelings respected. And this is something that should not be taken away from us by judiciary legislating from the bench.
Notice how he's asking, okay? Notice how the question is, so what's up? Like, how would you legislate? Like, you're a doctor, you want to be a legislator. How would you legislate, like, where life begins in an effort to figure out, what point? What is past the point of no return that you don't want abortions to happen at? And he can't fucking answer it because that's the reality. The reality is that, like, if you genuinely, truly care about life and you care about the autonomy of the fucking carrier, okay, the woman that is carrying the fucking baby or the fetus, right? And you think of that as an individual human being, then this is not even a question, okay? This is not even a fucking question. It's a hard one to fucking answer. It's not like third trimester pregnancies are commonplace. It's not happening. The overwhelming majority of pregnancies that happen, or the overwhelming majority of abortions, third trimester abortions, the overwhelming majority, 94%, I believe, of abortions that occur happen in the first trimester, dog. Like, this is a non-issue, okay? And the ones that happen on the third trimester, okay, those are happening because there are additional complications. Nobody's like, I want to carry a baby in my fucking belly for 9 months only to have it fucking snipped out of me and cut out of me at the end there. Okay, that's psychotic. What? Oh yeah, only 2% of abortions happen past the third trimester or first trimester. More than actually, I think that number is a little bit higher. Yeah, it's less than 1% in the third trimester. Okay, at that stage, it's very unlikely that you were aware that you were pregnant to begin with. There could be a very unlikely scenario where the person was unaware. Okay, the person was unaware that they were carrying a fucking fetus. Okay, and when they find out too late and they still want to be able to get an abortion, they should be able to still get an abortion in that circumstance. Okay, but that is like 3 people. Okay, we're talking about 3 people, and that problem could be eliminated in its entirety if there was early preventative care. There was better access to free reproductive health care services. Okay, you know, if they weren't routinely fucking shaming sex ed and stopping people from fucking learning about their goddamn bodies and stopping Planned Parenthoods by trying to cut their fucking funding and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's insane. If Americans had access to fucking healthcare for free and they could get reproductive healthcare services for free and easily without having to seek it out, okay, and then without having to like duck and dodge anti or pro-life psychos who want to like fucking murder you for getting an abortion, then, you know, there would be no fucking third trimester terminations outside of like serious medical complications. And by the way, that is already statistically insignificant. Most abortions happen in the first trimester. Okay? You go to your doctor, you go to a Planned Parenthood, okay? And you tell your doctor, I think I might be pregnant. And your doctor's like, here, take this fucking pill. And then you have a heavy flow period. That's it. If you can get owned and turned into dust, okay? If you can get turned into fucking heavy flow period by taking a single pill, then you're not a fucking life. Like, you're not a human. You're like this big, okay? That's how big the fucking fetus is, okay? At that stage, it's like this big. It's like a fertilized egg. Get the fuck out of here.
Poole service and supply, saying how crazy she was.
So stupid. It's a bit painful too, babe. Okay, chill the fuck out. All right, I know, I understand, but I'm trying to fucking minimize the severity of an abortion here. You don't have to come in here and be like, actually, it's really fucking significant, and Republicans are right. I mean, for men, I'm a man, okay? I have a penis, I do not have a vagina, I do not have ovaries, I have no fucking idea what this is like, okay? But if I'm talking to other men, I'm going to use terminology that they can comprehend. At least some of them know what a fucking period looks like, okay? So that is precisely the reason why I'm explaining the concept in the way that I am. In gruesome terms for the most part, but certainly in a way that like other dudes can fucking understand, okay? It's not for you. If you have a pussy, okay? If you've been to a Planned Parenthood with a vagina intact on your body, then this conversation is not for you. You already know this. Why do I have to explain this to you? You already know. You're like, what the fuck? I'm a woman. I want to be able to have control over my own body. I don't want to fucking like weird parasite growing inside of me that I don't fucking want. That's psychotic, right? Obviously, if you're hearing a woman, you already know that. This conversation is exclusively for people who are like, I don't get it. I don't understand. So that's precisely why I'm using the terms that I'm using. Anyway, this is for the fellas, ladies. Sorry.
COVID blowing up my college.
The menstrual cycle is a massacre. Every time I think about all the eggs shedded without being seeded by pure-blooded Americans, I want to jail teenage girls. Exactly. And same with every time you fire off a nut, too. All those fucking sperm that could be, you know, fertilizing eggs out there. Now they're fertilizing a napkin. How does that work, huh? A genocide.
So annoying.
And the viability outside of the womb conversation is an ever-changing one.
The big three
because, you know, you can have different carriers. Like you can have someone else carry your baby for you, okay? Loan a belly, and that sort of thing. Like, the more medicine gets better, the more viability fetuses have outside of the fucking womb. So, you know, that's no way to legislate it. It's just a gray area, okay? It's a gray area intellectually. It's a gray area philosophically. If you're going to have a conversation about like what it means to be life, is it actually like, does it begin at conception? Is it about the prospect of life? All that sort of shit. I'm not talking about any of that. You know why? Because that's for the birds, okay? That's just for nerds, okay? You can pontificate on that endlessly. Ultimately, I don't think women should be forced to carry pregnancies to term, okay? That's it. That's it. I care about the full-blown adult human being that is alive, or in some instances, a teenager human being that is fucking alive, and I want to make sure that that person that is currently alive is protected, okay? And can do whatever the fuck they will do to their own goddamn bodies. And that's precisely why abortion restrictions don't actually stop abortions. If there's a million different studies on this, it just creates an environment for back alley abortions, because that's how easy it is to stop a fucking pregnancy, because the baby or the fetus is dependent on the carrier. I do not believe that women are simple cum receptacles that are baby incubators. So, of course, I have a different point of view on the subject matter than Republicans who are just like, no, that's not true. Women are just cum receptacles. It's just they're baby carriers. What the fuck do you mean? Someone in the chat correctly pointed this out. You are not truly alive until you've had a sip of Diet Mountain Dew. Okay?
Has freak.
Anyway. In that circumstance, the future of that life is entirely dependent on consent, okay? Informed consent, and whether or not that fucking mother wants to have a child or not. It's really fucking stupid. And I hate that every single Republican piece of shit loves talking about like late-term abortions, like doctors are murdering babies that are coming out of the pussy. Like, they make it seem like there's a doctor with a fucking machete waiting right outside of the vagina. As soon as the fucking baby comes out, they chop it. Like, that's what's going on. That's how abortions are done. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Shut the fuck up.
I'm feeling indoctrinated.
Did you hear about their cop just hit someone on the curb with their car? There's footage is really fucked. I can't watch that footage, but yes, it is really fucked. Anyway, speaking of doctors, according to Bolsonaro's own doctor, Bolsonaro was hospitalized because he did not chew shrimps he had for lunch on Sunday. That's right, baby. This motherfucker is getting owned by unchewed shrimp, dude, okay?
Man hasn't missed a meal in his life.
He needs a little bit more gram in his life. If he only watched MasterChef. How is he not dead? I just don't understand how this dude is alive, okay? I just don't understand how he's alive still. He has been in the hospital more times than anyone I can think of, okay? It feels like every week he's just back in the hospital. In the hospital for hiccups and poorly chewed shrimp. Yeah. And I feel like it's consistently getting funnier and funnier. Like the reasons why he lands in the hospital are getting only funnier and funnier. Okay? Like at first it was like he went to the hospital because he got stabbed, right? Obviously, that's like, you know, that's, I would, dare I say, even kind of badass, right? I mean, the guy was an idiot. He obviously didn't do a good job. But First, that was the reason. Then he went to the hospital for COVID like 3 times. Okay. And then,
much love.
You know, after the 3rd time, it's like pretty funny that he's in the hospital for COVID. You're like, come on, bro. What the fuck? Really? You're going to get it like 3 times? Like, Jesus Christ. Then he went into the hospital for hiccups. And at that point, I was like, all right, this is a troll. Like, someone is just like, I don't know what the fuck's happening. You know what I mean? Like, what is happening to this guy? He went to the hospital for having uncontrollable hiccups where they had to put a fucking tube all the way down to his butthole, basically, his intestines, from his nose, and they pumped shit out of his body because he just couldn't poop. And now he's in the hospital for, like, not chewing shrimp, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. How the fuck do you go to the hospital for that?
Yo.
I don't know. What's next, dude? What's he going to go to the hospital for? I can't think of a more shameful and stupid reason to go to the hospital.
Hey, French Frog here.
Yeah, he'll slip on a banana peel. Piano falling on him and replaces his teeth with piano teeth. Yeah, exactly. Like he's chasing Lula and then Lula paints a fucking tunnel on a brick wall very quickly and he continues running and then hits the brick wall. That's what's going to happen to him. Having an affair with a doctor? I mean, somebody's having an affair in the Bolsonaro family, but it's not Jair Bolsonaro, I'll tell you that much.
Like every Catholic school in my town.
Remember, it came out that, very shameful, it came out that he was a cuck. And that his wife was having sex with, allegedly his wife was having sex with like a firefighter, like a bald firefighter. And his kids actually like the bald firefighter. They actually like are friends with the firefighter guy.
Thanks, Hasan. 7-month brain.
Unacceptable.
Very hard to be hopeful. The divisiveness.
His wife had sex with Johnny Sins.
Will be the end of us.
Yeah, and then
breaking, but
yeah, no.
Faster.
What could be a more ridiculous way?
In a nonsensical world.
A more nonsensical way in which like he fucking gets owned. I feel like his wife has sex with a bald guy and he's in the closet watching and cranking and he gets so turned on that he has a heart attack and he has to go to the hospital. Anyway, that could be maybe another potential reason for why he's in the hospital. What the hell is a Flurona? Apparently, now you can get double whammy comboed and get fucking the flu and COVID at the same time. Great stuff. Cool. Very cool. Very nice. Yep, watch out for bald guys that fuck your wives, dude. Don't know what's happening here, but dude. Yeah, okay, we'll talk about fucking Pope Francis. Yes, Pope Francis criticized couples who chose to have pets instead of children as selfish, arguing that their decision to forego parenthood leads to a loss of humanity and is a detriment to civilization. Listen, if I was the fucking Pope, and this Pope is like supposedly, you know, a left-wing Pope, you know?
28 months bog sussy.
This is supposed to be the left-wing Pope, right? But if I'm responsible for the Catholic Church, I wouldn't be talking about, you know, everyone should have more babies around the Catholic Church, okay? That's all I'm going to say. It seems kind of weird that the Pope is like, yo, yeah, why are you not having a more baby? You know, around the Catholic Church especially. Vegan Pope. No matter where you are, what? Oh, dude, I got botted again. God, okay, whoever who's in charge of that fucking bot, you need to like crank it, dial it back a little bit, okay? He's just like writing too much. I will ban him.
My body is nobody's body but mine. You run your own body, let me run mine.
Straight up. I will ban them. Teachers Union in Chicago didn't show up to work. W Union. Australian frog here. How much does it cost to get a rapid antigen test in America? Because retailers here are selling them for around $50 or more for a 5-pack. And even if you were able to spend that much, our dumb fuck PM didn't order enough tests, so everywhere is sold out. I think it's like, I don't know. I don't know how much it is now. I haven't bought one.
Love you.
But people are definitely fucking gross and overcharging for it. Maybe not as much as they are apparently in fucking Australia, but they certainly are overcharging for it. Why does he have an Italian accent? He's Argentinian. Okay, bro. He speaks Latin. Okay, so automatically he's Italian. Okay. California prosecutor opposed to vaccine mandate, dies of COVID at 44. Bro, this shit is crazy. New York Post is like, they're obviously right-wing as fuck. Okay? They're obviously right-wing as fuck. But they also are just like, yo, fuck politics. When it comes to like comeuppance, they love covering shit like this, okay? Like they don't give a fuck, dude. They're just like straight up.
Love you has.
They're just like, we don't care. We are going to make a joke about this. We will cover this story. Yeah, if you watch Survivor, you should do season 13. It's weird as heck. I'm not gonna watch Survivor. Anyway, Orange County Pack Watch. I mean, she does look like a Orange County.
Best take has.
How is she dead? She looks so healthy, bro. I don't know. Maybe there was a thing that happened. Ethan coming after my favorite rich people again. Ditch with Techno Plus Media. R.I.P. Tim Cook. So broke and underpaid. Tim Cook has been Apple's CEO since August 24, 2011. Over the span, Apple's market cap has jumped from $340 billion to just today $3 trillion. Despite this massive gain, Cook is only worth $1.5 billion. Listen, you don't get rich by being an employee. What?
I just grabbed the giant Mountain Dew.
Poor Tim Cook is only worth $1.5 billion.
Damn, I like the beard.
Sigma Grindset TikTok stays undefeated. $1.5 billion is poor.
Yeah, imagine being worth only $1.5 billion. By the way, what's funny about that is that, like, I love when fucking Sigma Grindset, weirdos end up, like, arriving at some fucked up form of, like some fucked up basis of the labor theory of value, like, or the labor value theory. Like, it's just, it's just, like, you're kind of edging at it, okay? You're kind of edging at it. Like, if only you fucking expanded on that point of view for I don't know, like actual labor and not just like being the CEO of a fucking $1 trillion company.